Hey everybody, welcome to the Hype Down. I am one of your hosts, Adam, alongside my co-host today. You may know him from the Hype, the answer to the lowdown for the tag team division, Brian Saunders.
That's right. It's good to be back on the Hype Down. Our first time doing this type of show since the Christmas edition.
Yeah.
And if you remember correctly, at that edition, I actually had a major announcement. I was forced into a major announcement.
You were forced into it.
Yeah, on the Hype Down. Hopefully tonight he don't have anything up his sleeve. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or or anything in his pant leg. I can't see that.
You don't want to.
You may not want to look down there. No.
You will, ladies. Well, let's get the show going. This is Money in the Bank edition, season 9 for 10 counts, season Dos for
Dos. You about got me there. It was Spanish in my mind there.
Season Uno for the Alliance Tag Team Division. And you know what? It was kind of a weird pay-per-view last night. We'll talk about that a little bit more, but I guess we should go ahead and get into it. Start letting people know the real deal. Lowdown.
Let's give them the lowdown or hype down here from Money in the Bank. Let's start off with the matchups from the tag team division. Now let's start off with what I think really is the biggest matchup of the night. The Battle of the Undefeateds, A Squared taking on PAH. It was really a good matchup, but kind of one match really from the get-go sealed the deal, and that was the Money in the Bank. It was a world title match, right?
Yes.
Yes, and Dolph Ziggler picked up the win. A Squared got the 5 points, and the rest is history. And A Squared remains undefeated here in this season, 4-0. Congratulations to y'all.
Thank you.
Yeah, try not to praise this man too much.
Yeah, my head will get it.
Yeah, it can't get much bigger. I mean, or we won't be able to get one on screen here.
That was a jerk thing to say.
Hey, I mean, you beat us.
Well, yeah, I did.
You beat us. So,
It
was 23-15 last night at Money in the Bank, and hopefully we'll kind of be like the Miami Heat, get down in the playoffs and come back at the end and win the NBA championship. So we'll have to see about that.
But, in all seriousness, it was not an easy matchup to begin with. Like, none of these, going into any matchup, no matter who you're going against,
right.
Whether it's A Squared, which is me and Aaron, or PAH, Brian and Corey, or Team Bring It, Mike and Evan have had bad luck, but they're a solid team.
Yeah, his squad, they've had some bad luck, but they started off way back when we did the trial season doing really well. So.
And even Team Perkins, you cannot count them out. They have some good pay-per-views. They've had some smart plays, and they're not afraid to risk it. As we'll maybe talk about tonight. Right. But I just wanted to say it wasn't easy. You don't go into the pay-per-view, you don't know what's going to happen, especially with the fantasy questions.
Yeah, and we had a lot of really hard fantasy questions, and we'll maybe get into that a little later too, and talk about kind of what happened with that and some of the matches. But let's move on to the next matchup. Freedom Fighters taking on the Hit Squad. They came in very strong. Freedom Fighters 2-1. And they picked up the win against the winless Hit Squad. Unfortunately, they beat them 19-12 last night. And also, finally getting off the schneid at Money in the Bank. They found a little money, all right. Team Bring It, 27. Team Perkins had 10. So congratulations, Team Bring It, picking up first win at Money in the Bank. And I think that's pretty much all for our side of the story. Let's move on to 10 counts.
Did you want to talk about the first session?
Yeah, I do want to. Yeah, okay, I appreciate you.
That's why we are 4-0.
Let's just make it 5-0. Don't worry about it. Let's just clean the slate. Yes, the first session of the season and this tournament we got going on will end at SummerSlam. It'll be 5 matchups, and the winner, or whoever has the most points at the end of the first session, will be the session champion. And right now, they're in the lead at 4-0, and PAH and Freedom Fighters are 3-1. So things can get very interesting as we move into SummerSlam, the biggest party of the summer.
It is. And also, did you want to talk about Team Bring It and Team Perkins?
I did mention.
Okay,
I
you
mean,
didn't say
yeah,
one, three?
I didn't
Okay.
hear you say that.
I heard you say 4-0 and 3-1. I'm sorry. I guess I was still thinking about being 4-0.
Yeah, it's really dawning on you.
Yeah, 4-0, kind of a big deal. But
Yeah.
well, since they talk about their tournament, we'll talk about the Keaton Invitational Tournament, the tournament that started it all. Not really. We had tournaments before that, but the Keaton Invitational Tournament will begin at SummerSlam, like tradition. This
Fourth
year,
one.
it is the fourth one.
Yes.
And tradition, like it is, it will be a 14. Why did I say tradition? Why did I say that there? I think Brian messed me up. Anyways, it will be a 14-person tournament this year, and it will conclude at WrestleMania, like always. By the way, if you're still confused on how the tournament works, Brian and I did a video. And it is on YouTube. I'll put a link in the description if I can, so you can go see the video, so you can find out just how this tournament works. But it allows, the basics is it allows you up to 14 points in the to earn for the season for the overall points. You can get up to 14. You can get as little as 0, but 14 is kind of what you're going for. And just like tradition, we will have our third live Keaton Invitational Tournament seating show. It will be live on Ustream. Who knows what will happen? You know how Brian is. You know how I'm not. Yeah. It's going to be hilarious and awkward at the same time.
Yes. You do not want to miss out on this live Keaton Invitational.
You don't. And I have already done the seating for this tournament, and let's just say round 1 is going to be very interesting. And it'll be interesting who advances to round those. Seckies. Has nothing to do with that. But, alright. Well, you know what? Is it okay that while I still have the floor, I continue to go on? Is that okay?
I'll let you take it.
I asked him like he had a choice. Being Mr. 4-0. Okay, that's it. I'm done now. I'm done bragging. Alright. Now, this, if you watch the lowdown, this is normally the point where we talk about who's hot and who's not for the pay-per-view. Last night, as we kind of alluded to earlier, last night was not a big pay-per-view for points, especially for 10 count. Tag team division had a little bit better, but not much. 10 count. The sad thing was, it was already four matches were what we had to work with, and we lost 2 of those because of the Miz was added to the Money in the Bank for the WWE title, and Daniel Bryan vs. CM Punk was made a no DQ match. So we lost 2 matches. We only had 2 left, which left us 13 points for total.
Lucky 13.
Yeah, lucky 13. Ironically, Friday the 13th was this past Friday.
Yeah.
The irony.
Yeah.
So really, there's not a whole lot to highlight. I could tell you, who was hot, who was not, but that really wouldn't be fair because everyone either got 13 points, 6 points, or 7 points, and that's 14 people. 7 people got 13 points. 50% of our members got 13 points. And they won the pay-per-view with 13 points. And they are Brent, Ruben, Darlene, Mike, Jacob, Matt, and myself. Congrats to all 7 of you.
Don't know if that's ever happened. There were 7 people on
7.
pay-per-view.
Yeah, I know we've probably had 5
or 6,
maybe
yeah.
6. But yeah, Mike was talking about that last night, and I'll have to go back and look at the stats for that. But I know we've had several people get win at the same time. And I don't know if it's 7, 50%.
That's incredible, really.
Yeah.
You only have 3 matches too, so you're gonna
2 matches.
Well, technically 2 matches. So
just wowzers, that man. Fun fact, a little fun fact for you. We're only 4 pay-per-views into this season, and already we have 11 of the 14 members picking right now. 11 of them have at least 1 pay-per-view win.
wow.
There are only 3 guys who do not have a pay-per-view win this season. They are Josh McNeil, Corey Saunders, and Brian Saunders.
I was thinking that.
And and the weird thing is, I just found that weird because I think last season we ended, and I think there's only 1 or 2 people, maybe 3, that did not have a win. That's how we ended last season.
Yeah.
And only 4 pay-per-views in, everybody's already got at least 1. I think there's a few that's got 2.
Wow.
And it's only 4 in. We got, there's 12 total, so, do the math.
Yeah.
Seriously, do the math. Do the math. No, I'm just kidding. And you know what? That's really all we got for this. Like I said, we really didn't want to talk about who's hot and who's not, just because pretty much everybody was one or the other, and it's only 2 matches. You can't really be not hot there. But I will throw it over to Brian now, because you're probably tired of hearing me talk.
I about fell asleep over here, but besides that,
You should try watching the hype sometime. Hey yo!
whoa. Now we get crazy on the hype now. We hype things up, so you never know what to expect on the hypes. He's just putting on the show now. But all right, the hype of the night. As always, I like to to throw a little mystery into things, and so Adam doesn't know what the hype of the night's going to be. Let me throw it over to him, and let me give him a shot to guess what he would think would be the hype of the night at Money in the Bank.
The hype of the night, I have to give it to probably Team Bring It. They had a stellar performance, especially after being... Okay, the thing about losing sometimes is that sometimes you just crap the bed, if you could say, and you just stink it up, and there really was nothing there. Other times you're so close, and that's what hurts the most, I think, is being so close and still losing.
So far away.
And Team Bring It has been the epitome of that this season. They've come so close to winning. I think, remind me, Over the Limit, it was A Squared, me and Aaron versus Team Bring It, and they what was it, 2 points? 2 or 3 points?
Y'all beat them by like 1 or
Yeah.
Well, y'all beat them by 1, but I think you got 2 extra for the win.
Yeah, so
it was like 1 or 2 points.
It's like, to me, that's worse than just totally bombing a pay-per-view.
And we beat them in No Way Out. We were losing and come back, and I think we picked a match right or a fantasy question. We beat them by 2 or 3.
And it's just been heartbreak after heartbreak like that. And so for last night to finally come to fruition for them, and they finally just got a stellar pay-per-view win, moved up in the overall season standings, and finally got that tournament win in a season, or a pay-per-view win too. But finally they beat somebody.
Yeah.
And they deserved it too.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like they lucked into it.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's move on then.
Did I really just take it?
Yeah, he did take
You should have stopped me.
Nice job.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, the hype of the night. That was good. I give it to you. The hype of the night, indeed, is Team Bring It. And I'll go in a little deeper to that. They have been so close yet so far away, and I almost like to call them the Heartbreak Kids. Speaking of the Heartbreak Kids, Shawn Michaels. And, they were 0-3 coming into the matchup, Money in the Bank, and I was rooting for them. I really was. Yeah. And they won the pay-per-view. They blew away Team Purkis. They were in 4th place with 81 points, 13 points behind the leaders at the time, PAH. And they moved from 4th place to tied for 2nd place with the Freedom Fighters. We'll get to that in a second. So they jump up from 4th to 2nd in one pay-per-view, and they were 13 off the lead, and now they are only 5 back. And that is only with one win on the season, and they were only 13 back with 0 wins, so that tells you how close they were. And it's incredible how they've been able to have success with the bad luck they've had going on.
Yeah.
So, but congratulations. Hype of the night goes to Team Bring It, and wish you the best of luck as you move forward in the Alliance. Alright, let's go to standings here in the Alliance. Heading into SummerSlam after 4 pay-per-views. We'll start from the bottom, work our way to the top. In last place, on the rock bottom, Hit Squad, 57 points. In 5th place, we got Team Purkis with 70 points. Down in 4th place, we got the PAH, went from 1st to 4th in a matter of 2 hours and 45 minutes to 108 points. Tied for 2nd place is Freedom Fighters and Team Bring It with 109 apiece. And in 1st place, I will go ahead and say it, 4-0, A Squared, 114 points. And that's definitely another hype that do need to mention. That definitely is a tough thing to do, to win all your matchups so far, and we'll see if they can continue making this undefeated streak.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's got to end.
Yeah, it's going to end, and it's going to be interesting to see who ends.
Yeah, who will win the streak? That would be a good question if we could.
Who will win the streak?
Yeah, will A Square get beat tonight as a pay-per-view?
I don't want to be like the Undertaker here. Okay, that was not our goal. Although Aaron is a big fan of the Undertaker, I don't know.
As long as it doesn't, if it gets up to like 20-0, then
that'd be pretty big.
That'll go through 2 seasons.
Yeah. And the thing, I think me and you talked about it. When we started out with a trial run before we started this season, me and Aaron did not start out well, and it just finally got into a rhythm where we may not perform the best. Like, I'm not even sure we've won a pay-per-view yet, to be honest.
I don't think you have.
And we're just trying to be consistent, because me and Aaron are kind of, when you look at picking styles, we're kind of similar but different. Like me and you.
Yeah,
we're similar but we're different. Aaron, bless you. Aaron likes to go out on limbs and stuff, and I'm kind of more the conservative guy. And we kind of have found a balance, and right now it's working. But you know how WWE is, man. They like to throw you curveballs.
Yeah.
And
SummerSlam, I think's got some curveballs coming.
It's very possible, yeah. We'll just have to see what team is a beneficiary of those curveballs. It's still, I got to be honest. PAH, Freedom Fighters Team Bring It.
Yeah.
Anybody's game. I'm surprised how the Freedom Fighters are hanging in there.
Yeah, they're doing good. They're doing pretty good so far. And they've got an interesting picking style too, and that we all do really. Think about it, but it's gonna be interesting to see how this thing plays out as we move forward. And speaking of standings, I was wanting to I wrote it down somewhere on over here, but about the points and wins, losses, and I think I can remember it off top of my head. Here we go. Didn't mention this earlier. We'll go ahead and mention it now.
Hold up. Time out. I asked you that earlier if you had talked about that, and you said you did.
Okay, well, I thought you asked me if you talked about Team Bring It and Team Perkis.
Yeah, well, I meant their records.
Okay.
Guys.
Hey, I'm doing this on my time. You know what I'm saying?
Work with here?
I'm doing this on my time. But yeah, anyway, for the standings for the tournament seeding, this will how we actually seed all the teams. But the winner overall, the winner overall will be whoever has the most points at the end. It doesn't have anything to do with record. So keep that in mind. Even if y'all do go undefeated, you still could possibly lose. Yeah. So yeah, in first place with the points, 8 points, 4-0 is A Square. PAH is 3-1 with 6 points. Freedom Fighters 3-1 with 6 points. And if you're wondering about points, each win you get is 2 points. Team Bring It has got 1 win, 3 losses. Team Perkis 1 win, 3 losses, and Hit Squad has yet to find the gold. They're 0-4. 0-4. So that is our standings there. So let's move on. Let's go back over to Tin Camp.
All right. Well, as we were talking about, the pay-per-view, not the biggest in points. Phew, I'm hungry. Brent keeps that lead. He's still only 4 points over Jacob and 8 over myself. Probably it wasn't because it's only 13 points. There was not a lot of moving and shaking. Mike, our defending champion 2 years running, makes the biggest jump in points by moving up to 5th, which is 3 positions from what he was at, and 8, and only 18 points behind. While Evan drops 2 points to 4th, 11 points behind 1st. Those are our movers and shakers for the championship. Not a whole lot going on there yet, but I have a feeling that SummerSlam could shake some things up.
Yeah. I don't know if this would be appropriate to mention this now, but yeah. But speaking of Brent, we were talking about this a minute ago. You were saying that he has only lost 11 points in this season. Yes. 100 points out of 111. Don't know if that's ever happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, 4 pay-per-views in, out of 111, yeah, he's only missed 11 of those points, and I mean that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And he mostly picks baby faces to win, but lately he's been throwing some heels in and last night he was able to get the Dolph Ziggler match, which was huge when there's only 2 matches that count.
Yeah, and Jacob is only 4 behind that, so he was 15 he's missed. Jacob.
Wow.
So, again, and that's before, we don't have the tournament in play yet.
No.
So, that's a big deal. Hats off to Brent and even Jacob. Hats off, guys. But I think this is appropriate. We just talked about championships, and if you don't watch the Hype, you don't know this, but you're about to. The Hype has a little segment that someone came up with, not naming names.
Or pointing fingers at that.
No, I don't point. My mom always told me that's rude.
Yeah.
But it's supposed to, celebrate champions, future champions, former champions. Yeah. That's all I've got.
We give them, we give them a chance to come on the show, whether it's by phone or come here live, and hype it up a little bit. I mean, that's what it is. Hype themselves up and talk about maybe the future, what they think about the alliance, any comments they have, and but ultimately it is a chance for them to kind of be in the spotlight and to receive a little hype that they definitely deserve.
So with that said, welcome to
Champions Corner.
And I'm going to go ahead and give Mike a call. He knows we're calling him, but he doesn't exactly know what we're going to ask him. So it's going to be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, from Team Bring It, Mike Presley. Hey, Mike, this is Adam.
And this is Brian. How's it going?
Hey, doing good. How are you?
We're doing pretty good. Don't know if Adam explained what's going on here, but welcome to Champions Corner here on the Hype Down, and every pay-per-view on the Hype, we like to do Champions Corner. Whoever wins the pay-per-view gets to come in the spotlight, say a few words, and we'll ask you a few questions. First of all, Mike and to Evan, congratulations on your first ever win here in the Alliance. You've had some bad luck. So how does it feel to finally be in Champions Corner and to get a W?
Oh, it sounds good. I think as you said, winning the pay-per-views, I think we lost by 1 or 2 points it was, and to lose by that much, it's just so heartbreaking. So to finally break through and get that in, it feels good.
Yeah, and we were talking about that earlier, how just how rough it was for you guys to be so close, but yet so far. So tell us, what was it like between you and Evan? Did y'all talk about how close it was, but just how disappointing it was, and did y'all want to change things up, or did you just want to keep going with what your strategy was, and just kind of see if it maybe WWE changed in your favor?
Well, we discussed it. We've been discussing every pay-per-view, and we kind of just come to some sort of agreement. We don't really have a strategy. We just talk it over and come to some kind of compromise and go from there.
All right, now, Mike, heading forward here in this season, I mean, what's your expectations with you and Evan? We've got 4 pay-per-views in, and heading forward, do you think your team's got what it takes to win here? You've made a move up, tied for second place, only 5 points behind A Squared, and do you feel confident moving forward that your team's going to be able to win the whole thing, despite the bad luck?
Well, right now, I'm hoping that this is going to be a start of good luck, and it continues on throughout the season. I think the one thing we have to do is just take it pay-per-view by pay-per-view and don't get ahead of ourselves and start looking at the points and sitting there and trying to let that affect our picks and just take it pay-per-view by pay-per-view and see where we are at the end of the season.
That sounds like a good strategy.
Sounds good to me. You mind if we borrow that?
yeah. I mean, you know, we're talking to someone here that's won 2 straight championships here in 10 count and seeking to win the first season here in the Alliance. You don't get too greedy on us now. Someone else has to win eventually. But it's going to be interesting going down the stretch here to see what happens. And again, Mike, congratulations to your team on the win. Is there anything else you would like to say heading into SummerSlam or any comments at all?
I want to be looking forward to SummerSlam and hopefully me and Evan can bring home another win.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, that sounds good. And y'all actually at SummerSlam y'all have a couple matchups, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But good luck to you, and I guess we'll probably see you at SummerSlam. And again, congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you later.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
All right. See you, Mike.
Have a good one. Bye. All right. There you go.
And that was a Champions Corner presented by the Hype, but on the Hype Down here tonight. It's going to be quite interesting to see how this thing plays out. I'm so excited about SummerSlam with the big matches and definitely Brock and Triple H and what we got going on here in 10 count and the Alliance. So let's go back to Adam now for a couple announcements.
Now we have a few announcements or things we just want to talk about. First off, last night we had some things happen at the pay-per-view for Money in the Bank that we feel like we need to address for our 10th season, and we're going to be getting y'all's opinions on some things with a survey coming out soon. It's going to talk about from pay-per-view viewings to possible rule changes or adjustments. We just want to get y'all's opinion on that, so I just want y'all, if y'all could, maybe take that survey and I'll send it out to you. Don't worry about it. Also, we've been talking about it for a little while. WWE will be coming to Charlotte, Raw, in October, and tickets go on sale late August. I just want to remind y'all, we will probably be getting tickets around that time, probably about a week before is when the money will probably be due. So if you want to go, let me know, or Brian, or Aaron, and we'll keep you in the loop.
Definitely, and you have to have your money in hand before you go, just to let you know that we don't do any buy now, pay back later. So if you're interested in going, think about it now while you have a little time. Try to get some money, save a little money up, and then
probably about $40-50 will probably be the ticket prices. And if it's more than what we say, then or less, we'll either give you money back or we'll let you know, hey, it was like $5 more. We'll work that out. But mainly, we want the bulk of the money the week before, leading up to buying tickets.
Yeah.
But my biggest announcement, something that I'm very proud of, and something that I've been working kind of hard on lately, is 10 years next year. It will be our 10th anniversary for 10 count.
It's we're getting hard to believe.
It's getting hard to believe. We were 13 when this started.
Wow.
And hopefully we will be 33 for 20th anniversary.
Yeah. I guess we will be if we're around here. Yeah.
And 10 counts around. And so I thought, something big, something that I was messing around on the computer and I realized something. I was like, something would be kind of cool for 10th anniversary? A brand new website. And that will be coming SummerSlam. By SummerSlam, you'll be able to get all your results, find out everything that's happening in 10 count, and all in one place. And what I'm most excited about is you'll be able to access it by your smartphones. Our previous website, the one we're still using now, you can't really use it that well.
You can a little bit, but there's some issues.
It's pretty issuey. Interesting. But you'll be able to get your pay-per-view results on your phone, and it should be easier on me and you to view, and everything will be available in one place. And of course, the Tag Team Division is getting a new website as well. So I'm excited about that. I don't know if he is on the
Yeah,
jar,
very excited.
but I'm pretty excited about it. And that's really it for my sound off. But I believe Brian's got a neat little sound off of his own.
Yeah, and I like to improvise on things, and very unpredictable, and Adam probably wouldn't expect this, and it just come to me. Give me a good idea. Speaking of the survey, I feel that we can add something to it that really could help, and this only is for the members of Alliance. I feel like we're having some issues with fantasy questions. We had some at the pay-per-view. Most of that though was due to streaming issues, but still, it's very tough when you ask very precise questions. It's tough to kind of, I don't know, it gets subjective. Yeah, it gets not objective, subjective. It gets very subjective, with whether or not something's right or wrong. It's kind of like last night at Money in the Bank. Well, AJ helped CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, neither or both, and technically she kind of did, but she kind of didn't. So it was a tough question to pick. And what I'm looking to do is get questions in the future that are more precise and more direct, make more sense, and are very objective instead of subjective. And so we might put something on that in the survey and ask you, what your opinion is, the members of the Alliance, to hopefully enhance the questions. And this is new to us. This is the first time doing it. So hopefully we can make the questions a little more clear. Kind of like also about getting knocked off the ladder. What does it count as? Pulled off or pushed off or whatever, shoved off. So we need to get a little more detailed about that. So we might add that to the survey as well. We'll see what we can do. It could be a different survey itself. Probably will be. But we would love to get everyone's opinion in Alliance. So that was what I had to say there. And let me end on this. Looking forward to SummerSlam. Let me briefly preview the matchups, and we will have a session champion crowned at SummerSlam. As you know, Corey and I are kind of the current tag team champions, if you want to say, for winning the tournament. And so that belt will be now to someone else winning session 1. Let's look at the matchups at SummerSlam. We have 2 matchups at SummerSlam. We had to have 2 to fit them all in for this season. We've got A Squared versus Freedom Fighters. Very interesting matchup. And I'll be back to that in a second. And we also have PAH taking on Team Purkis and the Hit Squad going up against Team Bring It. Now, if Freedom Fighters beats A Squared at SummerSlam, let me rephrase that. When Freedom Fighters beats A Squared at SummerSlam, and hopefully when we beat Team Purkis at SummerSlam, there'll be a 3-way tie for the Session 1 champion. So we'll let you know about that if it happens. But that's interesting. Just keep an eye on that. And also, what's going to happen with Team Bring It? Are they going to jump up as well? Session 2 at SummerSlam. We've got A Squared going up against Team Bring It. Very tough matchup. Last time A Squared stole it from them. They were the Grinch, and they stole Christmas. And and PAH taking on Freedom Fighters. That was a very interesting matchup the first time around.
And our head grew 3 sizes that day.
Wow, that was good. So that was a very good matchup the first time around, and where the PAH did win. He said my head grew, so I had to hype it up a little bit. That was for you too, Corey. And then the last matchup, we got Team Purkis, 2 teams that are struggling going up against the Hit Squad. So it's going to be, got a lot of things going on at SummerSlam.
It's going to be a big summer.
Yeah.
10 Count, the Alliance.
It's a big party, biggest party of the summer for them, and it's the biggest party of the summer for us. It's kind of like, the NCAA tournament starting. We got 2 tournaments going on. We've got the end of 1 session. And we got a lot of things heating up, and I think it's going to be real fun.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for the next few months. The tournament, new website, just new content from Lowdown, the Hype, and we got all those shows against the ropes, Nameless, all their blogs and podcasts, and
And we have 10 years in the making coming up.
Yeah.
You know? What we've done in the first 10 years, you have to wonder what we'll do in the next. It's very.
I do wonder.
I know. I never thought we would be doing this many shows. I never thought about a tag team division, and it's really been awesome that we've been able to do this.
Yeah.
I really wish Kenny was here to see what we've done, and I think he would really enjoy it. You know, something he said was, you know, we might become famous for this one day,
Yeah.
and you know, we might before it's over with. You never know, but yeah, I wish he was here to see that, but we look forward to the key invitation.
Yep, it's going to be a blast.
It will be a blast, and we will see you at SummerSlam for Brock and Triple H, and for All We've Got. And that's it on the Hype Down. And I'm Brian.
I'm Adam.
And believe
the hype.
And
until next time,
keep
the lowdown on the down low.